Unlock a divinely revealed truth. 12 miraculous insights to elevate your spirit beyond irritation. In the quaint village of St. Agatha, where whispers of miracles danced on the wind, Mary found herself steeped in despair. A devoted single mother, her heart ached under the weight of constant bickering from her 2 young children, clashing like stormy waves. Financial strain hung over her like dark clouds, but Mary held onto her faith, invoking St. Jude's intercession with every ounce of devotion she could muster. She knelt daily in the presence of the historic chapel, where flickering candles mirrored her flickering hope. Unlock a divinely revealed truth she longed for, her spirit yearning for a spark amid the relentless trials. A week before the annual prayer retreat, the air crackled with divine anticipation. The stories of past attendees, miraculous healings, and life-altering transformations swirled through the village, a tapestry woven with whispers of hope. Yet, as Mary prayed fervently, her requests felt as silent as the chapel walls, leaving her heart heavy and her patience thin. "How much longer, Lord?" she cried in despair, her faith wavering like the flickering candlelight. With every bicker from her children, irritation seeped into her prayers, a bitter root threatening to choke the joy from her devotion. Just as Mary contemplated giving up on her faith, the evening gathering at the chapel became a turning point. Pastor Thomas, his warm gaze like a shepherd leading the lost, delivered a prophetic word. "Your irritation may be the catalyst for your breakthrough," he said, kindled light igniting in Mary's heart. Hope flared for an instant, a flicker of possibility amid her dark storm. "Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let us continue. With renewed resolve, Mary faced her family, sharing the pastor's message. But skepticism thickened the air, laughter echoing at her attempt to embrace faith amid the chaos. They challenged her beliefs, tossing waves of doubt at her sanity. Just another empty promise, they scoffed, but deep inside, a gentle flame flickered, urging her to continue. Community worship became a soothing balm for Mary's weary soul. Each testimony resonated with her heart, their victories a melody of collective spirit that spurred her on. Yet shadows lingered, threatening to extinguish her growing light. As the retreat loomed closer, Mary found herself at a crossroads. But as she entered the chapel that night, an extraordinary event unfolded. An atmosphere thick with divine presence engulfed the room, and participants began to glow, their faces alight with heavenly joy. In that moment, love and unity washed over the gathering, lifting her burdens and eliciting tears of gratitude. What awaited her as the retreat neared its climax? Would the miraculous insights nourished by pain and irritation emerge, or would doubt smother the flame of hope yet again? As a profound presence enveloped the chapel, Mary's heart raced. This was not just a retreat. It was a divine unfolding, and the answers loomed closer, ready to be revealed. The night air wrapped around Mary like a comforting blanket as she stood still inside the chapel, her heart echoing the rhythm of optimism. The warmth of the congregation's spirit enveloped her, almost tangible. The flickering candles cast shadows that danced on the walls, calling forth memories of sighs and heartaches, but also of hope and renewal. She breathed deeply, inhaling the sweet scent of burning wax mixed with the collective prayers rising like incense to the heavens. Pastor Thomas stepped into the center of the chapel, his presence commanding yet inviting. "Tonight we come together not just to pray," he began, his voice rich with emotion. "We are here to revive our spirits and unlock the truths that lie within our struggles." Mary felt a ripple of anticipation. The air hummed as the congregation leaned in, hearts open and expectant as he spoke. Each word seemed laced with divine promise. "Let us acknowledge our irritation, our doubt. These are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth." He gestured passionately, and whispers of agreement flowed through the room like a gentle breeze. Mary felt a stirring within. She no longer felt isolated in her battles. She was part of something larger, a community bonded by faith and resilience. But as the pastor continued, a familiar voice echoed in Mary's mind, the voice of skepticism that her family often mirrored. What if this is just talk? Sneered. What if nothing changes? At that moment, an unshakable determination rose within her, pushing aside the doubt. I'm here for a reason, she thought fiercely. This is my moment. Just as the pastor invited everyone to raise their hands, a rush of warmth enveloped Mary. It was as if a soft wind had brushed against her skin, calming the storm in her heart. Eyes closed, she surrendered her worries, each one resembling stones heavy on her chest. I trust you, Lord, she whispered, her prayer rising above the noise around her. Help me see the truth in the chaos. Suddenly, within the sacred space, something shifted. The chapel lights dimmed slightly, heightening the intimacy of the moment. A low hum began to resonate, harmonizing with the heartbeat of collective yearning. Mary opened her eyes, and the atmosphere shimmered with a gilded glow. Faces around her shone, illuminated by an inner light, reflecting the love and joy of divine presence. Tears of gratitude streamed down her cheeks, unbidden but welcomed. Joy was palpable, bursting in spontaneous laughter and shared glances among the congregation. She felt a forest of burdens beginning to lift, their weight transforming into freedom and grace. As the evening progressed, testimonies began to unfold one after another, stories of miraculous encounters and divine healings. Each shared experience wove into a rich tapestry, illustrating the prevailing truth that hope persists, even where despair seems to claim victory. Mary felt the pulse of her own story intertwining with theirs, the power of unity and faith lifting her spirit higher. But as the joy mounted, so did the realization that transformation requires more than emotional uplift. It demands action. Mary felt a stirring in her spirit, a call to embrace the challenges ahead with newfound courage. But what steps would she take after this night? As the evening drew to a close, the pastor invited all to bring forth their burdens to the altar. With trembling hands and a heart overflowing, Mary stepped forward, ready to surrender not only her fears, but also to seek a deeper truth. The question loomed brightly in the stillness. Would she allow the miraculous insights to wash over her and transform her life? Or would she cling to the doubts that had once defined her? In that sacred moment, Mary could feel the stirring of divine mystery, a door opening to the possibilities that lay ahead. The journey was just beginning, and she was filled with eager anticipation. As Mary moved toward the altar, her footsteps felt light, almost as if she were being guided by an unseen hand. The congregation's murmurs faded into a gentle hum, creating a cocoon of serenity around her. With each step, the doubts that had once defined her began to dissolve, like mist in the morning sun. She approached the altar, her heart racing yet peaceful. The pastoress words echoed in her mind. This is a time of transformation. A fresh wave of courage enveloped her, and she knelt before the altar, the cool wood grounding her spirit. Lord, she breathed softly, I lay down my burdens before you. Take these worries and turn them into strength. In that moment of submission, a wave of warmth flooded through her, igniting something deep inside. Her struggles did not vanish, but they no longer felt overpowering. They were now stepping stones on her path to purpose. She sensed a quiet assurance that she would not walk this journey alone. The divine promise was real. With her palms pressed firmly against the altar, she felt the cool surface warm under her touch. It reminded her of the ground after a gentle rain, a rich soil ready to nurture new growth. Tears flowed freely down her cheeks. A mixture of grief and joy welled within her, intermingling like the changing seasons as the weight lifted. The testimonies swelled around her, each voice a beacon of inspiration. I was lost, but found. I thought I was broken, but now I see my purpose. He healed my heart. These declarations wove a fabric of divine presence through the chapel, interlinking each soul with strands of hope. Slowly, Mary rose. The altar had become a source of renewal. She turned to glance around at her fellow congregants, eyes glistening with the same awareness of change. The warmly lit chapel now felt like a sanctuary where hearts were knitted together in faith. She could see their courage reflected in each other's faces, a powerful reminder of their collective strength. But the pastor stepped forward, his voice steady and uplifting. "What's next?" he asked, eyes twinkling with encouragement. "You've grasped the truth tonight, but do you dare act upon it? Faith without action is like a song left unsung." His challenge hung in the air, palpable and stirring. Mary felt her heartbeat quicken again. What step would she take? Would she reach out to that friend she had distanced herself from? Would she volunteer at the community food bank? Each possibility seemed to bloom from the seeds planted in her heart that night. The pastor continued, urging everyone to look deeper within themselves, to seek out the calling that God had for them. Transformation is not a single moment. It's a journey, he reminded them, and every journey begins with one step. Mary's mind raced with possibilities. She envisioned herself weaving through daily obstacles with grace and strength. Inspired actions began to form patterns in her mind, leading her toward a life of purpose instead of hesitation. As the service drew to a close, Pastor Thomas beckoned everyone to form a circle of unity. They joined hands, their collective energy creating a vibrant tapestry of faith. The prayer that followed was electric, charged with anticipation and belief. "Let this be the beginning," the pastor declared. "Let your light shine." With eyes closed, Mary found herself murmuring softly among the gathering. She felt the invisible threads binding them together, sparks of faith igniting everywhere. Transcending personal fears, the realization dawned upon her. To truly transform, she needed to choose courage over fear, action over passivity. As they concluded the prayer, a lingering question wrapped itself around her heart. What awaited her on the path of action? Would she discover deeper truths, perhaps even more than she had dared hope for? The night brimmed with possibilities. It was more than a mere gathering. It was the dawning of something monumental. And with every breath, Mary felt the divine mystery calling her forward. What awaited her next? A miraculous revelation, perhaps. As the last echoes of the prayer faded, Mary felt a breath of anticipation fill the air. The congregation's energy lingered like the calming winds after a storm. United, they shared a moment of pure grace, a shared heartbeat of hope and intention. She looked around the circle, studying the faces illuminated by faith. Some were young, others aged with wisdom etched into their smiles. Each one sparkled with a commitment to move forward. Stepping back from the altar, she felt the warmth of encouragement embracing her. The pastor's words wrapped around her, "Let your light shine." What a beautiful call to action. Could she truly let her light, the light God placed within her, radiate into the world? The thought sent a thrill up her spine. With renewed resolve, Mary stepped away from the circle, her heart a symphony of possibilities. She wandered to the chapel's back door, pushing it open to a gentle spring breeze. The night sky stretched above, speckled with stars like diamonds on dark velvet, a reminder of vast potential. Each star twinkled with glory, whispering secrets of unfolding destinies. "Lord," she whispered, her voice barely rising above the night's stillness, "show me the way to shine brightly." In her tool bag of faith, she knew that every act of kindness, every moment spent in service could be a beacon for someone else. A distant call of laughter drew her attention to the community park. Families gathered under the warm glow of streetlights, sharing stories, making memories. Mary felt a tug at her heart, a call to join in, to step beyond her comfort zone. A surge of excitement flooded her. Perhaps she could volunteer for the food bank next week as a way to serve and connect with others. She remembered the friend she had distanced herself from, Sarah. Would reaching out be an act of courage? A reconciliation could become a beautiful exchange of healing. Mary pictured that meeting, embracing the girl who once filled her world with laughter and love. It felt like the sun bursting forth after a cloudy day. Her thoughts raced like fireflies flitting about, illuminating the wonders before her. Each idea seemed imbued with divine approval. She could lead a Bible study group, share her journey, invite those feeling lost or broken into a circle of understanding. Wouldn't that be a powerful way to encourage transformation in herself and others? As she stood there, just outside the chapel, Mary noticed a flicker of light in the distance, shaping her thoughts. An elderly man was attempting to tie a bundle of donations at the edge of the park. The tangled mess of bags and boxes seemed overwhelming, yet he persisted, determined and somewhat struggling. A wave of compassion surged within her. Here was a moment, a chance to directly act upon the courage that was growing in her spirit. Without thinking further, she strode towards him, her feet carrying the echoes of her newfound strength. "Can I help you with that?" she called out, warmth spilling from her heart. The man turned, a surprise transforming into a grateful smile. "Oh, that would be lovely. I simply can't seem to manage this on my own." And just like that, Mary stepped into service. It wasn't monumental, yet it wove a connection, a small act in the grand tapestry of life. As they worked together, she found joy in the simplicity of the moment. In that gentle exchange of kindness, a realization struck her: each act, no matter how small, was a step, a light igniting in the soft darkness of doubt. With each tying knot, her spirit soared higher. What would she discover about herself in this path of action? A divine whisper echoed in her heart: the adventure of faith was just beginning. What new doors would open next, guiding her into greater revelations of God's design? Would she continue to venture into the unknown? Would greater trials and triumphs await just around the bend? The sun began to rise, casting a gentle glow over the park. The vibrant colors of dawn danced harmoniously with the fading night. Mary stood at the edge of the community, heart still alive with the sweetness of service. The elderly man finished securing the last bundle, a satisfied gleam sparkling in his eyes. "Thank you, dear. You've a kind heart," he said, his voice tremulous but warm. Mary felt the richness of those words sink in. Kindness felt like a thread, weaving her into this larger tapestry of life, each connection vital, each act of love profound. It was a small moment, yet it whispered to her soul. It painted the beginnings of something deeper. "It was a joy to help," she replied, a bright smile lighting her face. She walked along the park path, her mind racing. Inspiration from the night before surged through her, whispering possibilities in her ear. Could this be a divine adventure? What if she committed to more than just sporadic acts of kindness? A few paces down, she spotted children playing. Laughter cascaded from their games like a sweet melody, filling the air with joy. Mary's heart swelled at the sight. Unsought visions of possibilities emerged. What if she organized activities for these kids? A community event of sorts. Her heart raced at the thought. "Surely, God could use me in this way," she murmured as she approached a group of mothers and caregivers seated on a bench. They exchanged warm greetings as Mary introduced herself, sharing ideas bubbling inside her. "Have any of you ever thought about starting a weekend kids club?" she proposed, excitement lacing her voice. A soft, contemplative silence followed her words. Then Jessica, a woman with a comforting presence, spoke up. "I've been thinking about something for the kids, but I never knew where to start." This opened floodgates of excitement. Others chimed in, sharing their thoughts and perspectives, lighting a collective vision of unity and fun. There was something incredibly sacred about putting hearts together for a common purpose. In each nod and smile, Mary sensed God's presence blessing this budding initiative. As they talked and planned, Mary felt an awakening deep within her soul. Each idea shared pushed away the shadow of doubt that used to linger. There was a divine trust in this connection, a beautiful reminder that the more they stepped boldly forward, the more paths would present themselves. Time slipped by as ideas of crafts, games, and community prayers transformed into tangible plans. Laughter filled the air, accompanied by friendly banter. Mary felt her light shine brighter among these women, each reflecting pieces of God's love back at her. Emboldened, she drew upon every ounce of courage that God had ignited in her heart. "We could even dedicate 1 week to highlight service," she proposed, her words imbued with passion. "Bringing our gifts to those in need, just like last night. How fulfilling would that be?" The seeds for something wonderful were being sown. She could see it now, The image of united hearts stepping into service blossomed like flowers in the spring. As the meeting drew to a close, Mary felt a gentle tug on her spirit. She turned to face the group, a thought lingering in the air. Where would this lead them all? Let us gather tomorrow and continue this conversation, she offered, her voice filled with hope. I believe God is in this and his plans for us are grand. Later that evening, as Mary prepared for bed, anticipation danced in her heart. She prayed fervently, asking, Lord, direct my steps as we embark on this path. What will we discover together? And in the stillness that followed, a realization washed over her. This journey was far from over. It was only just beginning. What unknown wonders awaited them on this fresh expedition of faith? Would they uncover a deeper purpose? Or would the trials begin to shape their bond even more? A tapestry woven by love and faith awaited to unfold. The next morning, as the sunlight broke across the horizon, Mary woke with renewed spirit. The vibrant colors outside her window mirrored the excitement bubbling within her heart. Today would be significant. It felt like a hinge in time, pivoting towards something extraordinary. Together with her new friends from the park, they planned to gather at the community center. Each moment unfolded with an air of anticipation, and it seemed that Goddess' presence was enveloping her every thought, whispering encouragement into her spirit. Mary dressed quickly, her mind racing with ideas and possibilities. Arriving at the center, she found Jessica already there, setting up chairs and tables. Good morning, Jessica greeted, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. I brought some art supplies. I thought the kids would love to paint. That's perfect, Mary exclaimed, her heart warmed by the sight. She could feel Goddess' hand at work through this woman's love for the children. As they worked together, the air filled with laughter, the gentle sounds of creativity mingling with the peaceful rustle of leaves outside. Slowly, more mothers and caregivers joined, each bringing their unique gifts to the gathering. There were baked treats, games, and stories of joy. As the morning light poured in through the windows, Mary's soul filled with gratitude. She had begun to witness a transformation more than an event. This felt like a community awakening as the children arrived. Their faces lit up with excitement. Mary stood still for a moment, delighting in the sight of their innocent joy. She knew that this day carried more than mere activities. It held the potential for deep connections and divine love to manifest. Let us start with a prayer, Mary suggested. A hush fell over everyone, and she felt the weight of the moment. Bowing her head, she thanked God for the beautiful community forming around them. She asked for his guidance and blessings as they launched into this venture. It felt powerful, a band of women and children united in purpose, seeking to reflect Goddess' love. After the prayer, the activities began, and laughter erupted like melodies filling the air. Mary moved between groups, engaging with the children, painting alongside them, and sharing stories that made their eyes sparkle. Each fleeting moment felt holy as she caught glimpses of joy lighting up the kids' faces. As she led a group of children in a game, one child, a little girl named Lily, tugged on Mary's sleeve. Miss Mary, can we help someone today too? Like the man from yesterday? The innocence in Lily's voice dug deep into Mary's heart. Of course, Lily. That's a wonderful idea, Mary responded, her heart swelling. Later in the day, as the activity turned to a quieter moment of reflection, one of the mothers, and shared the struggles she faced alone at home. Mary listened intently, her heart aching for her friend. It reminded her that serving goes beyond a day of fun. It requires listening, understanding, and caring for one another in their trials. Could we create a support system? Mary asked, reaching out to the mothers. We can gather weekly for each other, offering help and love. We could pray together, share meals, and lift one another up. The women nodded, murmurs of agreement turning into plans. As they spoke, Mary closed her eyes briefly, a wave of gratitude washing over her. Here they were, not just bringing joy to the children, but building bonds that might carry them through storms and share in their triumphs. But as the evening drew near, a question stirred within Mary's heart. Could these connections thrive beyond just this day? Would their new commitment to each other truly last? In the coming weeks, Mary said, gathering her breath, let us not just meet for fun. Let us cultivate a loving community, one that stands shoulder to shoulder through life's trials. As the mothers exchanged hopeful glances, a profound realization dawned within Mary. The journey of faith had just taken a new turn. Tomorrow awaited, and with it, more divine plans to unfold. Little did they know the challenges ahead would strengthen their faith and deepen their bonds. What trials awaited them, and how would they emerge, molded by love and grace? The next morning, a fresh warmth swept through the neighborhood, as if the sun itself was reminding everyone to embrace the new day with open hearts. Mary stepped onto her porch, pausing for a moment to take in the beauty around her. Just yesterday, she had ignited a spark, and now, she felt a gentle prod of excitement urging her forward. Today was the first official meeting of their new support group. The vision of the community united was still fresh in her mind, and she could hardly contain her enthusiasm. The journey of faith was not just for her. It was for them all. Would they find the strength in one another to navigate through life's ups and downs? As she gathered her things, the doorbell rang. It was Jessica, buzzing with infectious energy. I brought some more art supplies and snacks, she announced, her voice bright like the morning sun. I think it's essential we celebrate this new beginning. Mary laughed, her spirit lifting with each moment shared with Jessica. You are a treasure. Let us make sure we have everything set up, especially for the children. Arriving at the community center, the atmosphere hummed with anticipation. The children were already there, filling the room with giggles and chatter, their excitement palpable. The mothers trickled in, some looking weary, others smiling brightly. The dynamic felt alive, electric with potential. Mary gathered everyone around. Thank you all for being here today. We've embarked on a journey together that's about more than just gatherings. It's about building each other up, lifting each other with love and prayers. Her voice carried a warmth that resonated deep in the souls gathered around her, and stepped forward, her eyes glistening. I didn't know if I would come today, but I felt so drawn to be here. I need the support. We all do. A gentle murmur of agreement rippled through the group. It was moments like this that Mary cherished. They were bridging the gap between isolation and connection, turning struggles into shared journeys. What would you all like to do together? How can we support you? She asked, her heart wide open. Conversations blossomed, voices mingling like a symphony. Ideas flowed in abundance. From weekly meals to shared prayers to simply being there for one another, each idea brought forth the richness of hope. As Mary listened, the laughter of the children echoed around her, weaving its way back into each mother's heart. Then Lily, with her bright eyes and innocent wisdom, raised her hand shyly. Can we make something for the people in need, like we talked about before? Her voice was small but powerful, sparkling with that same innocent faith that brought Mary so much joy. We can. What if we designed care bags filled with essentials? We could even include little notes of hope. Mary responded, her heart swelling once more. The mother's eyes lit up, and agreement pulsed through the gathering like a heartbeat. They spent the afternoon crafting, snack breaks filled with laughter and music. As the mothers bonded over shared stories and struggles, Mary felt a shift. Here they weren't just a group. They were family, bound together by faith and purpose. But amid all this joy, a longing stirred in Mary's heart, a sense of urgency for what lay ahead. Would the fire they ignited burn bright amidst life's storms? Could they truly lean on each other, turning painful moments into sacred experiences of growth? As they packed up the finished care bags, Mary caught sight of the glowing sun setting beyond the horizon. The beauty was overwhelming. This journey was just beginning, and she felt that a deeper understanding of love was to come. What challenges lurked in the shadows, waiting to test their unity? Only time would reveal the divine truth behind this gathering. The following days flowed gently after that vibrant first meeting, like a river carving passages of connection through the landscape of their lives. Mary watched as the momentum built within their circle. Each mother brought her own light, and slowly, cracks of hope appeared in places once shrouded in darkness. They had scheduled weekly gatherings, mixing art projects with shared meals, and soon, Mary found herself in awe. Each encounter felt sacred, as if they were weaving a tapestry not just of shared experiences, but of prayers and dreams. Every laugh exchanged and every tear shed bound them closer together, like threads in an unbreakable bond. But as the sun brightened their days, it also illuminated shadows. One afternoon, as they crafted the care bags for those in need, Mary sensed something brewing amidst the joyous chatter. Sarah, one of the quieter members of the group, struggled to meet the eyes of anyone. Her usual mention of personal struggles remained absent, causing a knot of concern to form in Mary's heart. "Do you need something, Sarah?" Mary asked gently, her voice purposely soft, aware of the weight of her words. The group paused, their eyes turning toward Sarah. Her cheeks flushed as she fiddled with a piece of ribbon. "I don't know if I should share. My struggles feel so small compared to what everyone else has shared," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. "While the size of our struggles might differ, the pain is universal," Mary asserted, her heart reaching out to Sarah. "And remember, each of our stories matters. Together we find strength." Nervous glances from the group encouraged Sarah to continue. "I lost my job a few weeks ago, and I'm scared. My faith is weak, I don't know how to keep holding on." At once, the air shifted. A collective sense of empathy washed over the room. "Oh, Sarah," Jessica reached for her hand. "It's not about how strong you are, but about leaning on the family we're building." Tears brimmed in Sarah's eyes as the warmth of understanding enveloped her. Slowly, she opened up, and with her words, planted seeds of divine connection within the group. They started sharing their own struggles, revealing how faith had faltered in the face of life's storms. Mary looked on, her heart swelling at the profound sacredness of honest vulnerability. It felt like a mystical moment. This was revelation sprouting from shared experience. Here, in this sacred space they were creating, even the heaviest burdens began to feel lighter as they huddled around Sarah, offering prayers and words of encouragement. An unexplainable peace settled in. It was as if a shroud of heaviness was lifted, replaced by hope and a renewed sense of purpose. But deep within Mary's spirit, a question lingered. What divine wisdom was being planted in their hearts through shared turmoil? She understood this effort called for more than just perseverance. It beckoned them to rise up together. That evening, as the sun dipped low and left behind an afterglow of hues rosy and gold, Mary could feel the promise of transformation on the horizon. Her heart danced with anticipation for how God might use their newly bonded family. Would they be prepared for what lay ahead? Could they lift Sarah, and in doing so, lift each other, carrying each other's burdens and pointing the way back to faith? The journey of their collective spirit was just beginning, and Mary realized the real test of this unity was about to unfold. The atmosphere crackled with a gentle energy at the next gathering. It was palpable, a divine current flowing among them. Mary entered the room, clutching her heart as she watched each woman arrive. There was Sarah, sitting a little taller, her eyes shining a hint brighter than before. The whispers of encouragement still echoed within her spirit, nurturing her frail faith. "Let us pray." Mary's voice bridged the space, drawing everyone into a moment of stillness. With heads bowed, their thoughts united like vines in a garden, they invited Goddess wisdom to fill their hearts. Each breath was a reminder of their shared purpose, a community blooming together, lifting spirits in fervent gratitude. As they settled into their usual rhythm of sharing and crafting, Mary decided to introduce a new element, a testimony time. "I want us to share our victories as well," she proposed, watching them closely for their reactions. "Let stories of hope shine light into our hearts." There was a collective pause, hesitation hanging in the air. Finally, it was Jessica who spoke first. "I got a call about a job interview this week. I wasn't expecting it after everything." She looked around, the joy oddly infectious, permeating the group. Cheers erupted, laughter mingled with a spirit of celebration, and the sound floated up like a sweet incense as she shared details. Her voice bubbled with excitement. Just days ago, this moment felt unreachable, tangled in the weight of her own struggles. But here, together, They had found a way to uplift her spirit. Encouraged, others began to share, toes wiggling with anticipation. "I found peace in prayer," another mother admitted, her words hesitating yet firm. "I've been battling illness, but I trust I'm not alone. My daughters joined me in a prayer session, and it transformed my week and my heart." Mary's heart swelled. Each story was an ember, igniting hope and affirmation in others. They were gathering like hearts drawn toward a warm fire on a cold night, vulnerability lighting up each face. Then it came time for Sarah. With trembling hands, she gripped her knees tight, swallowing the lump of fear lodged in her throat. "This week, I felt something shift in me," she began, voice comprised of both trepidation and courage. "I lit a candle at home, a single flame while praying, and I felt connected again. I saw how I've been so focused on my fears that I forgot to seek light." A hush fell over the group, reverence for her honesty weaving around them like a protective blanket. They nodded, resonating with her truth. That moment of shared breath, the acknowledgement of their collective vulnerability, was woven with threads of divine purpose. They were beginning to understand. Their struggles were pieces of a greater tapestry. The night wore on, filled with laughter and prayer, yet the heaviness around their hearts felt lifted. As they prepared to close, Mary glanced around the room, reflecting on how far they'd come. "God is using us even in our pain. We are stronger together," she said, her voice firm and soft all at once. A lesson echoed through the room, resonating deeper than any single struggle. But as they began to pack up, another thought crept into Mary's heart. What if they could reach even farther? What if their light could shine beyond their inner circle? With hearts alight, they had ignited something truly beautiful. Could they take this light out into their own communities? Would their new family rise together and carry the flame forward? The promise of an unexplored journey glimmered just beyond their grasp. The following week, as Mary entered the community center, she felt a shift in the air, a vibrant wave of excitement. The time had come to envision how their new family of faith could spread light beyond the cozy walls of their gatherings. Each woman's face reflected a burning desire to share the warmth they had discovered together. "Today is a turning point," Mary announced, her voice full of zeal. "We've found strength in each other. Now, let us prayerfully consider how we can reach out. How can we bless our greater community?" In the moments that followed, the energy in the room surged like a current of hope. Ideas flowed freely, filling the atmosphere with enthusiasm. "What about organizing a community-wide service day?" suggested Jessica. "We could clean up the park, host activities for the children, and distribute the care bags we made. It could be a way to intersect with those who may need our support." A ripple of affirmation spread through the circle. "That's great," added Anne. "We could even include a prayer booth. We can pray for people right where they are. Or prepare a meal for those struggling to make ends meet," chimed in Sarah, her confidence visibly blossoming. The room erupted with ideas, a joyful cacophony filled with expressions of faith and purpose. Mary stood in awe, tears brimming in her eyes. The growth of these women was palpable. They were no longer just fellow believers. They had become an unstoppable force of love and community empowerment. As they finalized plans, Mary felt the weight of her initial trials lift from her spirit. This calling to serve resonated with a deeper truth, a divine purpose intertwined with their earlier struggles. It was in giving they would truly flourish. As days turned into a week, the day of the community service drew near. Mary sensed a blend of exhilaration and nerves flit in her chest. Would the community respond? Would they truly come together? Her heart echoed with uncertainty, yet she clung to the blessings that had unfolded so far. Finally, the day arrived. The sun shone brightly, nearly as if heaven itself was smiling down. Families filled the park, laughter and chatter mingling in the air, as balloons and colorful banners decorated the space. Mary stood with the other mothers, glancing at the growing crowd, grateful to see familiar faces mingling with strangers. And there, at the entrance, Mary spotted an elderly man, the very same one she had helped tie donations a week ago. Their eyes connected, and he approached her with a heartwarming smile. What a wonderful gathering you have created. I came by to lend a hand. Thank you for being here. Mary felt joy pulse through her. It was a living testament to how small acts of kindness ripple outward, touching hearts in unexpected ways as the day unfolded. Mary moved through the crowd, embracing connections, sharing laughter, and witnessing the beauty of the community coming together in ways she hadn't imagined. The arts and crafts station blossomed with children's laughter as they created cards for the elderly. The prayer booth welcomed open hearts, offering compassion and hope, while meals were lovingly served to families in need. "Miss Mary, can we deliver these cards too?" Lily exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. "Absolutely. Let us spread our light," Mary responded, a smile blooming on her face as they wandered through the park, handing out cards and heartfelt messages. Her heart swelled with pride. With every interaction, grace enveloped them, an echo of the love woven through their gathering, now flourishing in the community. Later that evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Mary stood surrounded by her new family of faith. Joy, fulfillment, and a sense of connection echoed through their hearts. They formed a circle, hands joined, gathered together under the fading light. "Let us pray," Mary suggested, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "Lord, thank you for this beautiful day, a testament to your love and the truth that we are better together. May we continue to shine our light and serve others as you guide our hearts." Tears sparkled in many eyes, the shared moment draped in warmth, love, and divine providence. Each soul there understood the power of connection, and with faith as their anchor, they felt ready to embark on whatever God had in store next. As the stars began to twinkle in the deepening night, a deep-rooted realization blossomed within Mary. This journey had transformed her life. She had discovered that through service, community, and faith, every tear shed, every moment of struggle proclaimed victory, and every doubt was the fertile soil from which beauty unfolded. God had unfolded a tapestry of purpose, a divine revelation sparked by irritation, turned into hope, illuminating their path forward as they intertwined their lives in a greater calling. And so, with hearts ablaze, they stepped into the night, resilient and united, prepared to embrace the divine adventure awaiting just beyond their horizon. This is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive faith stories. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us reach more souls. Don't let your voice go unheard. Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending. Lastly, share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this manifestation. Don't wait even one more second. Only true servants of God understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Let us shine our lights together.